I think it's clear that residents today in Richmond, they don't trust their city's government.
That's the sentiment fueling a new proposed measure to bring so-called radical transparency to Richmond City Hall. Councilmember Kenya Gibson has introduced an ordinance that would significantly increase the public's access to information kept by the city.
This ordinance would be, yes, a beacon of sunlight in the city of Richmond.
Several citizens, organizers, and advocates voiced their support for the idea during a committee meeting on Wednesday.
We hear promises to improve practices at City Hall in terms of transparency. We seem to continue to see or hear talk, but without the walk.
Richmond doesn't trust its government. We don't.
They described past examples of perceived roadblocks to obtaining information from the city, such as delays in releasing documents or high fees charged to supply them.
If we want to have a city that is trusted, that is progressive, that doesn't have anything to hide, we need to cool it with these huge fees.
Now let me give you some background. In Virginia, we have what's known as the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA. It's a law on the books that requires the government to be transparent about the work it does on behalf of the taxpayers. Anyone can use FOIA. All you have to do is send in a request asking for the records that you want. You should know that the government does have many exemptions it can use to protect sensitive information from being disclosed, and it can also charge you for the time it takes to provide the requested records. Gibson's proposal would require Richmond to create a FOIA library and publish all the requests it receives and by who, the documents it releases, and the money it's charging people. It comes as the city continues to fight a lawsuit from its former FOIA officer, Connie Clay. She alleges she was fired for warning the city about its unethical and unlawful practices of hiding information, which the city denies.
I think the most poignant context for this discussion is the legal complaint now in progress between the city and our former FOIA officer. The optics in this case are not good.
I'm not comfortable at all talking about litigations. I'm not sure why we did that. We're talking about open litigation in a public forum. That is quite dangerous for the city.
Chief Administrative Officer Odie Donald says while he supports the idea of a FOIA library, he'd like more time to work out exactly what information should be published and how.
In talking about FOIA, it's not just as simple as black and white. There are unintended consequences to legislation that is created. But I'd be interested to find out if, as written, does it increase the liability to the city?
The way that Virginia state law defines the Freedom of Information Act, it's simply not structured to be a vehicle to protect the city from liability.
The city's communications director says Richmond gets 5,500 requests per year, most of them pertaining to legal issues or emergency services. He says he'd have to hire 3 additional staff members, costing up to $350,000 per year to maintain the library.
I'll just say that I've heard very positive things about the work being done to improve the FOIA response.
Ultimately, the committee decided to delay taking a vote on this measure. I'm Tyler Lane for CBS 6 News.